Okay, on to part two. Basically, with this gentleman, Adam Black 3030, is stating that animals are not homosexual, they're not heterosexual, they will just fuck anything to get off, whether it be a leg, another animal, a hole in the ground, favorite stuffed animal, doesn't matter. As he puts, the truth of the matter is animals are simply sexually frustrated. Adam Black, my dear. Have you ever studied or even heard of a thing called Reiki? Reiki is a form of healing, working with the natural energies of your own body to heal yourself. It is a very popular concept and actually works quite well. It is even recognized here in Western medicine, although it did not come from Western medicine. It is more of a Eastern medicine thing. There are a lot of hospitals around that actually use it. They don't pay a Reiki master, but they will have Reiki masters come in to actually help their patients heal. So, it is a well-recognized thing. In Reiki, you use the body's energies to heal itself. There are major energies throughout the body called chakras, and there are some major chakras. When there's something wrong with the body, depending on what the problem is, it can be a combination of blockages or problems with different chakras or more than one chakra. Now, one chakra that tends to be quite popular, if you're not sure, it's kind of a general rule of thumb. If you're not sure exactly which chakra is involved or has a blockage or has a problem, because we as human beings are uptight basically, and as uptight as we are, even with sexuality, um, it's usually a safe bet there might be a little bit of, at least a little bit of a problem in the root chakra. Now the root chakra happens to be located where the sexual organs are. Now, unlike people, animals who have a root chakra as well, it is not as common for the problems to be in their root chakra. In fact, it is not uncommon for their root chakra to be completely clear. Basically, this is stating, and this is showing, that animals are anything but sexually frustrated. And if you don't believe me, look it up. It may not be in your Bible, but maybe you should start reading some things that are not quite in your little closed church and small little Bible. Because when push comes to shove, the world is actually much bigger and much more interesting. As far as putting two homosexual dogs in a pen alone with another female dog that happens to be in heat, yeah, maybe that might actually happen. Maybe they might go after the female. But also, it's just as likely that they won't go after the female. I mean, I've seen animals that have been just like humans. You've got heterosexuals, you've got homosexuals, and you've got bisexuals. Why do you think it's any different than with animals? It's not. Also, it all depends. Have they been altered? Have they been fixed, spayed, neutered? I don't have scientific proof for this. This is just an observation of mine. I've had animals throughout most of my life, mostly dogs and cats, a rabbit and a couple rats and everything. But all of my animals have been either spayed or neutered, okay, whether you agree with it or not. And this is what I've noticed. I have personally noticed that if you spay or neuter an animal sometime before they have ever had sexual relations, they just don't know what to do with it. A male, a perfectly healthy male, could be right there within close proximity of a female that is really in heat, and she could be just rubbing up on him trying to get some, and that dog will not give a flying fuck what that dog is doing. He is not going to be jumping her. He wouldn't know what to do with it if he tried. Of course, that doesn't have to do anything to do with sexuality, because in that case, he's kind of a eunuch. He has no sexuality. Um, and then, of course, there's animals that have been spayed or neutered sometime after they have actually had sexual relations. In which case, what I've noticed with my personal animals, and I don't know, again, if this is true or if it's in any sort of book, but this is, again, just my observations, but they tend to be a lot hornier, in which case they will tend to do anything to get off. Again, that's just what I recognize, but, or what I've witnessed. The point is that there is homosexuality, and it is quite natural in the animal kingdom. It is also just as natural to be heterosexual, and just as natural to be bisexual. It's not a fetish, dude. It's not. A fetish is something that you can have whether you're homosexual or heterosexual. You know, it doesn't mean that you're homosexual because you like anal sex, which is maybe a fetish. Or you like feet. Or you like pain. But you can have that as a homosexual or as a heterosexual. That does not make you gay. What makes you gay or bisexual is that love, that feeling that you have for the same sex. What you do with that sex, in or out of the bedroom, is the fetish. Do you get the point? Dude, I don't care if you agree. This is just where I'm coming from. If you want to be rude and crude, I guess I'll just block you. But, that's where I'm coming from. Get out there a little bit before you start forming opinions on this. Speak to a gay man. Speak to a lesbian woman. Speak to a bisexual. We're out there. Get out there. Witness, see, experience. Brightest blessings, my friend.